Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming. I'm your host Richard and today we are back with the Primal Battle League. We're here with Week 7 against Super Bowser and the Baltimore Blastoise, one of the newest teams in the league. It's actually Super Bowser from Turtle Nation, which there will be a link in the description below for that channel. Great guys, go check them out. But he took over for King Aegis YT and the Chicago Bouffalants, which, if you recall, Week 3 we got the Volcarona sweep on. So this time I didn't want to try that again because he knew that I had done that. I didn't want to give it away. So I figured I'll bring Volcarona, I'll just save him for later. So this week I actually brought Sleep Talk Melodic, Choice Scarf Electivire, which we'll see how that works out, because as you guys know, I usually run Expert Belt because I like that variety, that kind of stuff. So, Choice Scarf this time, Electivire. We have the Flame Orb Conkeldurr, fully defensive Mega Gardevoir, I believe. I don't know why I keep bringing that thing. It's worked like all of one time. But we'll see if it works this time. Choice Specs Gengar, and OU Bulky Volcarona, of course. My opponent brought two super annoying Pokemon with Blissey and Clefable. Brought two very offensive Pokemon with Mega Charizard X and Terrakion, and then also Nidoqueen, which can be kind of run like Nidoking, or it can be the Stealth Rocker, utility kind of Pokemon, and then Rotom-Mow, which usually for the most part is Choice Scarfed, Choice Specs, that kind of stuff. But we're going to get into this battle. Just as a warning, guys, the reason I haven't been uploading as much new stuff is because I was gone for a weekend, and then the day I came back, my throat was just terrible, and it's been terrible for a week. So I do have a glass of water here in case it gets a little dried up. But just as a warning, guys, I'm actually going to take a sip as the battle starts. Alright, so we get right into the battle here. I lead with Melodic, figuring it does a number to most of the Pokemon on his team. And even if this Rotom-Mow wants to come out, which it does, I'm going to stay in because I know I can take almost anything from this Rotom-Mow. He does Volt Switch. I went for the Ice Beam, hoping he'd stay in, and I'd probably live with like a sliver or something of health. Probably not the best of plays, but hey, he went for Volt Switch anyway. I get the Ice Beam off on the Clefable, does nothing. And I'm figuring, hey, Scald's going to do about nothing as well. So we are going to get out of here, hoping for either a Moonblast or some kind of setup thing. I go into Gengar. Excuse me. So we got the, apparently, Shadow of Clefable out here for Clefable. Clefable does go for the Cosmic Power, so that's kind of nice for us. I'm figuring, even if it doesn't kill, it should do quite a bit. So we Sludge Wave. Choice Spec Sludge Wave from Gengar does knock out Clefable in one hit. So, Gengar getting the kill right away. It's looking good for us right now. So, he brings in the Mega Charizard X. I figure, hey, Mega Charizard X doesn't gain any special defense. It's more physically defensive Pokemon. So I'm just going to go for Choice Spec Sludge Wave, see how much it does. I didn't really want to switch, either allow him to set up or get off like a Flare Blitz on a Pokemon, even though Melodic would have taken it pretty well. So, Sludge Wave does over half, and he goes for the Dragon Dance. Now, for some reason I figured, hey, we got rid of Clefable, we don't need Gengar anymore, so I'm just going to leave him in to die to this Flare Blitz, because Gengar isn't going to take one, especially at +1 from a Mega Charizard X. So he does get the knockout on Gengar, and he's going to go down to a point where a Mach Punch from a Conkeldurr will take him out. Now, unfortunately, he does switch out, saving this Charizard for later. Good play. Charizard's fast enough where it can come in and revenge kill something, so he's going to switch out into Nidoqueen. I almost went for Ice Punch, figuring he'd switch out, but wanted to be safe. Didn't want extra damage on my Conkeldurr, so I did go for Mach Punch. Now, Nidoqueen is able to outspeed, go for the Earth Power. It's probably Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, I don't know. Nidoqueen naturally outspeeds anyway, so I go for the Ice Punch. Earth Power does quite a bit kick on Conkeldurr because we aren't the Assault Vest variant, but Ice Punch will also take out the Nidoqueen. Now here he's going to bring in Blissey, and I was kind of trying to figure out why, so I just went for Drain Punch. As soon as I clicked it, I'm like, he's protecting. He's trying to make me die to my own Flame Orb. So Conkeldurr, of course, goes down to the Flame Orb because I'm an idiot. And, well, nobody gets the kill for that one. It's still bad because this Blissey can kill her for. Luckily, we still have Electivire, so I'm just going to go straight for the cross chop here. Of course, he's going to switch out because Blissey will not like that at all. And he actually wasn't tracking it. I wasn't quite sure why he did. He might have not known I had cross chop. But we went for cross chop, almost takes out Terrakion, and now this is where Choice Scarf comes to bite me, because I figure, hey, we're Choice Scarf, let's kill it. And I was kind of debating it because of the miss factor, but he is also Choice Scarfed apparently. So close combat will take out Electivire. I'm not sure if Terrakion actually outspeeds Electivire, so he could have been Choice Bandit Jolly. Not sure, but either way, Choice Scarf kind of did us in there because it killed us. Now, here's another misplay on my part. I bring in my Gardevoir. I go for the Hyper Voice, not thinking that because I do have Psyshock on this Gardevoir, of course, because I like that mix-up kind of thing. But I went for Hyper Voice for some reason. I know it hit everybody pretty hard, except for Chansey, which Psyshock would have done a ton more to it, and it still would have killed Terrakion. So unfortunately, I didn't play right there again. So we're messing up on our comeback here, and it's not looking good. So we do go for the Psyshock. Does quite a bit to Blissey, so if we would have went for Psyshock on Terrakion, we would have taken out Blissey here. He goes for Toxic, and 1 second while I sip. And you get to watch the Toxic animation anyway. So I figured he's going to Protect, so I thought I was being clever to switch out into Volcarona. Honestly, I don't know what was going on at this point. I guess my throat was so clogged, it was clogging my brain. But going to Volcarona, he does Protect, but still, it would have been better just to take the Toxic damage and go for Psyshock, because I would have killed him on the next turn anyway. But I go for Fire Dance, trying to get the boost. I don't get it, and then he gets a free Soft Boil. So now we are up the river without a paddle, as they say. Back in the homeland. So I believe yep, I do continue going for Fiery Dance, figuring he's gonna Toxic me at some point. I'm just trying to get boosts here. I figure if I can get enough boosts, I can start going for Giga Drains and getting a bunch of HP off of Blissey, because Blissey is known for its mass amounts of HP. So I'm just trying to take it from him and give it to my Volcarona. So here I figure he is gonna go for Protect. But, of course, after all of our Toxic and healing, he does not. And I Quiver Dance for no reason, essentially. I could have went for another Fire Dance, gotten another boost, got some more damage off. He goes for the Seismic Toss, just starting to rack up that damage with both the Toxic and the Seismic Toss, which honestly he had no reason to go for Protect, because I'm not doing enough for him where it's going to be doing enough to him where it's going to be a problem. So, again, I honestly don't know what I was thinking with this. Letting both of my Conkeldurr and my Electivire go down, so I have no physical attackers left. So I have to rely on Gardevoir's Psyshock. And also, for some reason, during most of this battle, while I'm sitting here trying to do anything to this Blissey Volcarona, for some reason I thought Gardevoir was really low health. It wasn't. It has like 10 HP missing at this point, because it's only taken one turn of Toxic. For some reason, I thought it was super low. I have no idea why. I think it was because I switched out when I didn't need to, fearing the Toxic rack up. But even here, I go out into Melodic, because at this point, now he's just stalling, and I'm being stubborn, and I want to stall back, which Melodic does perfect. So I'm going to get my leftovers. He Seismic Toss there. I don't know why I didn't go into Gardevoir again. This whole time, I could have gone out into Gardevoir and two-shot this Blissey. I would have taken more Toxic damage than if I had initially gone out or stayed in with Gardevoir. But of course, we're going to have our rest, Soft Boil, Toxic, Seismic Toss, Ice Beam, Scald, Battle going on here, Sleep Talk, all these moves. And he's actually saving his Protects here, which is really smart by him, because he has no reason to Protect, especially with Melodic, because Melodic's not going to do anything to Blissey. I am honestly just baffled at how stupid I was playing for almost this entire game. I'm gonna say this entire game. Other than the Gengar switch, I have played like an idiot this whole game. letting Conkeldurr go down to a protect if I would have just stopped and thought. Probably didn't help I was wrapping presents at the same time in this battle, but what are you going to do? You got to get things done, and it happens. So I go for the Scald here, or I Sleep Talk a Scald, and I get the burn, which, of course, that's why I run Scald and Melodic, because it burns often, and Sleep Talk gets it often, so that's works out well. But honestly, this is gonna be, like I've said in past battles, there's matchups in a lot of these battles you're gonna see for most of the battle. Melodic Blissey is gonna be the big one here. So he's switching to Rotom. I go for the Scald on the Wake Up, not thinking he'd switch in the Rotom, and unfortunately I don't get the burn here, right? Yes, I do not. I don't think I ever burned this Rotom, to be honest. So unfortunately I don't catch him with a Ice Beam. He Volt switches out once again. I figured I could take it, even a Thunderbolt at that range. So, and I was only 2 off. And he Volt switches out into Blissey yet again. So I go for Ice Beam. It's a whole thing. I was actually taking notes for this battle like I usually do. I write all the turns out. This battle I couldn't do it. It was just so much Blissey Melodic. Though this battle is actually shorter than a few of our other battles, most of the battle is just these two swatting at each other, not doing much, which is real annoying, because this whole time I'm like, I could have still had Electivire, I could have still had Conkeldurr. I think that was also part of it. I was so upset with myself for losing Conkeldurr and Electivire so early in the game that I didn't even think, oh, Gardevoir stood good health, let's bring her in and kill this Blissey, though we'll take a little more damage than initially. I honestly don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. I'm hoping this little break will, and watching these battles and participating in these battles will help me to get back on track. I know we've been falling off a little bit. We've been falling to the Minnesota Vikings curse, which for those you don't know, our team named Minnesota Slackings was taken from Minnesota Vikings, where for the most part they'll start off good and then they'll just start screwing around like I do, and end up losing. But of course, even after all that banter, these two are still swatting at each other. Yeah. But I also had 2 battles with on this day. That's why I'm kind of referring to these battles, because this is the first battle I did this day, and I also had a rematch against Hank and the Winnipeg Aqua Jets. Not to give away anything for that, but I also took Super. I don't know how it ended up, but I had 2 battles I had to do, and they were both late. Or maybe one of them was late. I don't know. I gotta get my schedule back together is the big thing. Taking the weekend off and then getting sick was really not the best thing for the channel right now. But luckily, I had a lot of Let's Play Pokemon Alpha Sapphires pre-recorded that I could put up while I rested. But if you guys haven't seen that, go check that out, because apparently these two are still fighting. I could speed this up, but honestly, it's probably almost over at this point where these two are fighting with each other. Excuse me. Apparently not. We're still ice beaming. Excuse me. I'm this half. But he's seismic tossing yet again. I'm going to try and get back into the battle, because I'm sure it's going to be done pretty soon, hopefully. We're over halfway there. There's like 12 turns left. Actually, after this, it'll be 11. So, leftovers, burn. Of course, the burn's helping because the leftovers isn't really there. Conkeldurr had knockoff. Again, if I would have kept Conkeldurr around instead of Mach Punching like a fool or letting him, or actually trying to predict. That's another big thing, is my predictions have been off. Like, I haven't even tried predicting lately, which is part of the reason we won a lot of our early matches, because I did those predictions to bring the battle in our favor. So I honestly, I've just got to get on Showdown practice is the biggest thing. I haven't done enough Wi-Fi battles because I'm just trying to get everything back to order with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphires, changing everything over, or trading all my Pokemon over, all that kind of stuff. And I haven't had a lot of time to just sit down and play either. But at this point, I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can because he's doing fixed damage to Melodic right now with the Seismic Toss, so I know I can get down to a certain point and then rest. So I was just Scalding and Ice Beaming, trying to switch up, not trying to do a pattern, just to try and catch the Rotom-Mow coming in on an Ice Beam. Of course, it doesn't happen. Blissey's just going to continuously Seismic Toss. He doesn't bother going for Toxic because I can just rest it off. And even if he went for Toxic and he switched out to something else that was a physical attacker, my Marvel Scale would be up. So there wasn't really a point to Toxic. I do switch out here, which is probably a mistake. I finally realized that Gardevoir can now two-shot this thing, and it has a lot of health. Yeah, we actually only lost 10 health, like I said earlier. And unfortunately, he actually goes for Soft Boil here. If he would have gone for Seismic Toss there, I would have had him there next turn with Psyshock, which is part of the reason why I brought Gardevoir in at that point, because Blissey was at a low enough health where Psyshock could have taken it out if he would have went for another Seismic Toss. So I go for the Psyshock here, probably expecting to protect. Doesn't go for it. Does go for the Seismic Toss. But even if he wants to protect here, we shouldn't take that much damage where it'll be too big of a problem for us. If I can just get this Blissey out of the way, Volcarona can come in pretty nicely. I honestly don't even remember how low Volcarona is at this point. I'm sure I didn't during the battle. So he goes for Protect, just trying to get a little more Toxic damage off. And of course I'm just going to stay in at this point, which I should have done from the get-go, and this Blissey would have been out of the way. And we wouldn't have had this whole conversation that we've been having for the past however many minutes. When we take our Toxic damage, of course, it takes its burn damage, and we'll be able to kill a Psyshock here. But he actually switches out, saving this Blissey. I just want it dead. But he switches out into Charizard to sack it off. And I go for Psyshock, of course. Takes out the Charizard X, so Gardevoir does get a point at least. But now we gotta try and save this thing for that Blissey while it's taking Toxic damage. Does he actually come into Blissey now? No, he comes into Rotom, knowing that he can kill, or he can do quite a bit of damage to anything with a Thunderbolt, I believe he goes for. I go into Volcarona, which, of course, Volcarona is low enough where a Rotom's going to kill it. He actually goes for Volt Switch here, and Volcarona lives. I forgot. I actually didn't get to this point in the battle because I was tired of watching Blissey and Melodic while I was trying to take notes. But, of course, Blissey comes back out because Blissey can take almost anything from Volcarona. I thought it was going to be low enough after Burn where Bug Buzz, which is our strongest move on Volcarona, of course, would be able to take it out. Now, I'm assuming from how you're hearing me say that is Blissey doesn't die. So we go for Bug Buzz. And it lives on 1 HP. Goes for Seismic Toss. Thank God he didn't go for Soft Boil, because freaking Blissey would have never died then. Because I would have won the Gardevoir, would have protected, and it wouldn't have died. So Melodic does get the kill on Blissey. I'm proud about that. I like Melodic getting points. Unfortunately, Blissey got a point, which I don't want to have happen, but it did. Whatever. On Volcarona lost another point. So I bring in Melodic here. I just want to try and burn some turns of sleep. He goes for Close Combat. We are going to take that because we do have Marvel Scale right now. I'm trying to think here because at this point we only have Gardevoir and Melodic. I could have gone into Gardevoir, but Gardevoir wouldn't have taken Close Combat and we would have been in the same position just without a Gardevoir. So at this point we take out Terrakion, and his only Pokemon left is Rotom-Mow, which I believe Choice Scarfed Rotom-Mow. Choice Scarfed Choice Specs didn't matter. It's going to outspeed both Melodic and Gardevoir. He's going to be able to take out Melodic easily with a Thunderbolt at that range. And then, of course, we bring in Gardevoir. Gardevoir is not going to outspeed because we brought defensive Gardevoir. I don't know if he was choice specs, if we would have brought our fast Gardevoir, if we would have outsped. I have no idea. He could have been choice Scarf. But he wins with the narrow 1-0. So a very good battle against Super Bowser. Again, we made so many mistakes. We could have had that battle if we would have kept Conkeldurr and Electivire around, or just one of them for that matter. But of course, we did not, and we didn't come to our senses with Gardevoir till later in the game. So quite a few mistakes there. Both just sacking off Pokemon for some reason. I don't know, it started with Gengar, and then it just went down the line with our physical attackers. And then also switching out Gardevoir when we didn't need to. Kind of bit us in the butt, so unfortunately we lost that one, but it was still 1-0, so even after all those mistakes, we did win, sorry. We made it very close. But again, like I said, next battle is going to be against Hank the Pidgey and the Winnipeg Aqua Jets for week 8, and that should be up in a couple days. I want this going up on Monday, so that should be up on Wednesday. And then I'm sure we'll have another one for Friday to get week 9, because I think that needs to be done pretty soon here. Again, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with the schedule. I'm sure they do. I've just been so out of it and not with the game that I need to get back into it. But thank you guys so much for watching this battle. If you made it all the way to here, hit that like button. Let me know that you were able to make it through the stall with me. But thank you guys so much for watching. I promise we'll try and keep these battles a little less stally, especially since we won't be battling any Blissies anytime soon. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!